everybody. This is Jonathan Nail. We are at his big premiere for his new show, Solo. He is a writer, an actor, a producer. And tell us, what do you do? Like, what is Solo? What does Solo mean to you?
Solo is a story about a guy who has chosen to go on a 3-year mission to Mars as part of a reality series. 36 days into the launch, the show is canceled, and he's stuck in space. Solo is me sitting alone in a room and drawing up plans for a crazy idea, and then spending every other weekend building it since April of last year in my garage.
Were you actually building sets?
Actually building the set. I started off with an idea in my head, and I thought, well, I'll just hire someone to write it for me. And a lot of my friends are saying, you're not going to get what you want unless you do it yourself. And I'd never written anything prior. I mean, I've been writing for years, but never a script.
Yeah.
And then it came down to me actually drawing up the plans for the ship, the set, because I didn't want to do green screen.
Yeah.
I wanted an actual physical set to work with. And the set becomes a part of the character as well, becomes a character of the show. And so for every weekend since April of last year, I was building the set. We finished that around in October, had a couple of friends come in and help me decorate it up at the last minute, and then we started rolling at the end of October.
Where is this set being built?
The set is in my garage. And my
You are building a set in your garage, and your wife loves that, I'm sure.
She did. Actually, well, that's the thing. It's like she supported me 100%. And I wouldn't be who I am today without her.
We'll make sure that she sees the 300 or so people that are out here supporting you. This is crazy.
This is awesome.
Do you feel special and powerful right now?
Well, I feel grateful and humbled. I mean, there's so much going on in the world. There's so many people clamoring for making noise, trying to make something of themselves. And I pulled as many good, creative people, like-minded people together to share this vision with me, and it worked. I don't know half these people.
Yeah.
And yet they're wanting to come and see this and support this, so this is awesome.
I think it shows when you're a positive sort of go-getter filmmaker, people will support you and people will come out. So congratulations on that. So tell us, how did you score Alison Venor? She is getting herself around, doing a lot of stuff. Don't know how she even has time for you.
She is one of the busiest women that I've ever met in this business. Alison and I were actually at a pub, and I'm talking about this idea, and she had this very stone face, and I thought, she's not buying it. She's the gal I want to produce this, and she's not buying it. I've lost it. Okay, whatever. I'll just sell it as it can and walk on. And it's actually, a lot of credit goes to her because she pulled together the production team that made all of this possible. I was a guy with an idea and very little pocket change, and we made it happen. She made it happen.
You hear that? She made it happen. So what inspired this? I mean, what made this crazy idea? Especially for someone who says you've never written a screenplay before, and here you are, you're like, I have to write this.
I felt lonely. I was out there and I was like, everybody's doing all this fun stuff, and I'm like going, oh, why can't I do this? And a friend of mine says, you should, you can. It's a great idea, do it. And that's what happened. A lot of friends were just saying, do it.
And you've just did the Gold Series, right?
Right. Actually, David Nett contacted me and had me come in and audition, and I was so grateful for that. And I must have done something right, because the next day I was spending the next 2 weekends in a garage in,
Another garage.
Another garage. And it was a great set, too. So we had a lot of fun.
So did he contact you because he knew you were working on Solo?
Well, he and I actually met on a couple occasions at some of these mixers, and we started talking about this or that, and I finally talked to him. I said, listen, I really love your show. I'd love to be on it sometime. He goes, we're done with the season or whatever. And then out of nowhere, he goes, I've got this other show I'd like to talk to you about. I'm like, great, send it over.
I actually love that there's two things you've brought up. And actors, please pay attention here. The two things you brought up are basically networking. It's like you talked about how you had actors on your set and you liked writing for them. They were good people, so you wanted to write more for them. And then you met David, and he wanted to cast you because he knew you. And I keep trying to stress to people, get out there, make it happen for yourself.
Yeah,
Don't wait for somebody to open the door for you. Meet people, make your own thing. So good for you.
Milton Berle, a very funny guy, once said, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. And, thank you, Uncle Milton. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been building a very large spaceship door in my garage. If it wasn't for the Solonauts, my donors, coming out and donating the money that we needed, we wouldn't have even seen episode 3 tonight. So we got over $1,800 in donations from people just watching our trailer.
Did you get them through Kickstarter?
No, actually what I went through is fracturedatlas.org. It's great for artists. It provides insurance for rental equipment, all that stuff like that, but it also provides 501c3 status. or tax deductible, nonprofit status. And so it's not just saying, hey, go here and drop some coin and thank you for your donation. We actually give people the benefit of it being a tax-free donation. So at the end of the year, they can write it off. We are, a nonprofit artist organization and supporting the arts.
Well, I am so excited for you. I'm going to let you go so you can enjoy your guests and get your show started. But thank you so much for sitting and talking with us. And I'm excited to see it tonight.
Yay.
Yay. It's Allison Venor. She produced Solo Series.
Basically, I met Jonathan at a tweet up, one of the first tweet ups I've ever been at, and he was talking about a project that he wanted to make, and he was being a little nervous, and he needed just a little bit of a push. So I told him, you know what, just do it. Just if you've got some money and you want to do it, just make the best thing you can make and put it out there to the world and see what they say. I've worked on a ton of indie projects, so working in someone's garage and roughing it is nothing nothing new for me. So that wasn't a problem, and I love working with a lot of people. I mean, it's all about the teamwork and kind of the creative process. So. So it was great for me, and bringing everybody together too, because I brought in people that were the resources I had, and then Jonathan had people he knew, so it kind of all fell together. We had a little bit of everything, and together it worked out.
Let's say some filmmakers out there, and they're like, I really want to make a web series. I want to do a show, and I want Allison to do mine. What is it that draws you to their project?
Well, first of all, enthusiasm, and that was one of the things that Jonathan had that kind of outshines everybody else out there. He really had a ton of enthusiasm for his project.
How has Twitter kind of changed your life?
What happened was I was working full-time for an interactive agency for about 5.5 years, and when I decided that I was leaving to kind of pursue producing and everything I wanted to do, I knew I had to get myself out there and really network, and so that was one of the natural ways to start getting myself out there, and in conjunction with going to a bunch of networking events, I just started talking to a ton of people and finding out what they were doing, and I love people and I love talking about them and learning things about them, so it was an easy thing for me.
Yeah. And then you went to a tweet up and you met Jonathan, and then here we are today with over 300 people out there ready to watch the first few episodes of Solo. I mean, how does that feel?
It's awesome, and it's great. It's also a little overwhelming. You have people running up to me saying, "Hi, I can't. I'm so glad I get to meet you." And I'm trying to rack my brain for, do I know you from Twitter? Do I know you from Facebook? Do I know you from real life? And do I recognize your face or your name? Or it's funny. It's an interesting situation.
It's the beginning of your fame.
There you go.
Awesome. I know you have to get out to the show's about to start, but thank you so much for sitting down with us, and hopefully we'll get to sit with you and talk a lot more about some other stuff shortly. Okay.
Yeah, you know how to find me.
I do. And Twitter @Alicini.